Created live on Fireside.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Athletic Definition Merry Fitness Edition Christmas in July. I am your host, Coach Ray Z, and I love Christmas. In case you can't tell, if you're only listening to this, I'm wearing a Christmas shirt, my Christmas hat. People were looking at me strange around the city. I don't know why. Christmas in July is nothing new. It started back. I'm going to give you a little history lesson about Christmas in July, even though it has nothing to do with fitness. But I love Christmas, and because I love Christmas, I've been doing a Merry Fitness series where I give you a workout tip or do some sort of review, give you some Christmas ideas of workout equipment for yourself or your loved ones that you can get. And I do that. I've been doing that for the last 2 years now. This will be my third, trying to earn a present from Santa. So, Santa, please, please, this year, I've been good. I've been kissing the babies, walking the ladies across the street, doing whatever I need to do to earn a present. And as you know, I've also been sharing with all the wonderful people my Merry Fitness tip, which I do have for you today. So make sure you stick around for that. And look, Santa, I'm not even drinking beer. See, it's empty. I didn't drink it earlier. Look, what I'm doing, Santa, it's water. I've changed my ways. I swear. I swear. So, if you watch the shows in the past, I do Christmas puns. So, here goes the first one. Knock, knock, of course. I'll pretend someone's there. Who's there? It's Olive. Olive who? Olive Christmas time, don't you? And the jokes don't get any better. So, make sure you stick around. What do you call a snowman in July? A puddle. So, Santa, since he only works one day out of the year, he has a bunch of free time just to go to the beach. Santa loves the beach. He hangs out in Hawaii a lot. Over there, it's different. Even pretty much all the images of Santa, he's like on a surfboard, not how like we see him on a sleigh. But even though he doesn't use his sleigh that much, he takes it to the beach, and the elves always get mad because they're busy making presents, which I hope to get one this year. But yeah, they're busy making presents, and they don't have time to be clean the sleigh, but they have to, because it gets all full of sand. But it's a good thing they have sanitizer. All right, moving on to the next one. So Santa's so lucky because he got himself a new sleigh, because even though they cleaned it with sanitizer, it still couldn't get shined. It had a bunch of scratches from the sand. So he got one, and guess what? It didn't cost a penny because it was on the house. Okay. I hope you're enjoying this Merry Fitness edition of Christmas in July. Yesterday I had a little time. Well, I didn't have extra time. What I was doing is doing some deep cleaning in my room. And while I was doing that, I threw on the movie Christmas in July. I believe it was made in 1942. And spoiler alert, if you don't want to know, hopefully it's not too soon for you. But I watched it to see if it had anything Christmas related. And I, I have some recollections of maybe seeing it in the past, or I just kind of knew what was going to happen at the end. But it was basically about this guy and a girl, like all movies are, or basic stories. Guy and girl, they like each other, they're engaged. And this guy's always trying to win contests, trying to win contests. So he's trying to win this coffee for Maxwell Coffee. And he comes up with a slogan, and it's $25,000. I believe this movie was, like I said, done in 1942. So, $25,000 back then would have been a lot of money. And if he just is always waiting for the contest to see if he won or not, his coworkers decide to play a mean joke. And what they do is they end up writing a fake telegram to him saying that he won. So he thinks he won. He goes and he collects the money from the guy, and he thinks he won. So he goes in there, he gets the check. He starts going and buying and splurging, and he buys his fiance. She wasn't a fiance; that was his girlfriend, but He wanted to buy a ring, so he bought her a ring, and then they wanted to buy presents for everybody. So they go and they spend all kinds of money. It seemed like he spent more than $25,000. Um, and then you find out that he really didn't win, that it was just a joke. So the bankers, or no, not the bankers, but the guys from the company, they try and take all the toys back and stuff. And the big line in the movies where his fiance says, "Oh, it feels like Christmas in July," because they got gifts and gave it to everybody. Even the police officer was defending them against the collectors. Once they found out it was a joke, anyways, he ended up getting a job, promoted, because they thought he was talented. And because they thought he was talented, he got this promotion. He ended up like talking, well, his chick ended up talking his boss into letting him keep the job, even though he really didn't earn that title. There was going to be no bump in salary, but he was going to get a shot. Well, at the end of the movie, there's a black cat. There's no Christmas music. There's no minorities in the movie. It's could have been called White Christmas. Well, actually, there's two minorities, and one's a janitor, and the other one is like an employee. But besides that, I didn't see. There was no Mexicans in the movie. There was no Asians. There were no Indians, no Native Americans. Nothing else. At the end, there was a black cat. It turns out that the guy end up winning the contest anyways. So he won the contest, and that's how it ended. Because basically, he everything he thought was real. But I think the moral of the movie is that he thought he was a loser, and he felt that he couldn't prove that he was a winner unless he actually won the contest. That would, in his eyes, justify him not being a loser. And one of his boss told him, gave him some good advice about how he's not a loser and he's not a loser. And that's the movie. It's about an hour and 7 minutes. It's free on YouTube. I really don't think I would recommend it, to be honest with you, even though I love Christmas, but I had to give it a shot. And then I looked into Christmas, and of course, I figured it would have to do with marketing, but in reality, it's been turned into marketing. It's not really popular anywhere, as far as I know. Some companies do try and celebrate Christmas in July, and some people go all out. From what I read, it said a bunch of young people, but I don't know, a bunch of young people just having Christmas in July parties. People usually celebrate on the 24th and 25th. If they do, everything's supposed to be the same, the food, the whole decoration, but it's in July. It got started in 1932 or 1933, and it's in one of the Carolinas. I don't remember if north or south, but it was in a campground, and they put a Christmas tree up, and it started little. They did a few other things, and then from there, it caught on where everyone started exchanging presents, and it, from there, I'm sure the marketing people took it. It's like, oh, it's a great way to advertise and try and sell you things in July. It seems like it. I saw a video yesterday on YouTube as I was researching a little bit more, and this girl was talking about it from Australia's point of view. And in Australia, she also said that they don't celebrate it. It's basically a whole marketing thing. Probably just the stores, which I'm not even aware of any specials. But hey, if you want a special, go to www.coachrayz.com, and I will give you a free or a free 30-minute. So if you go to the website, it's already 30 minutes, but I'll give you a 1 hour session with me free for your Merry Fitness gift from me to you. See, Santa, are you paying attention? Can we do a replay? Oh, it's live. Okay, well, make sure on the edited version, you repeat that, make special effects. I'm talking to my editor. Of course, I have a team. You guys think it's just me doing everything? No, that'd be crazy. You know how much work that is? Editing, producing, lighting, booking, writing, besides having more than one show and trying to get multiple guests around the world. That would be crazy. All right. So if you've been listening to my show, then you know what's happened. If you haven't, then welcome. Basically, I got bit by a dog back on July 4th. And since then, my workouts have to changed. I've really, I would say, since the pandemic, not that I didn't have workout equipment, weights, but I really fell in love again with body weight training, probably more than ever. uh, doing the ATG training, and you can scale that to add weights. But just it was something that I tried, and I've just incorporated into my other workouts. Well, since the dog bit me in my calf on my right leg, I haven't been able to really run or do anything with my leg like jujitsu or anything like that. So we're focusing more on my upper body, and I'm like, I'm gonna carry on that body weight love, but add it to the upper body. And so instead of just doing the regular push-ups, which is great, but I decided to go back to pull-ups and do it more consistently. So I've been doing that for at least a couple months now, more consistently than ever. And it's surprising how in a short amount of time you can really feel a difference in strength and actually just loosening up. Because in the beginning, if you've never done pull-ups, or if you've done them but you haven't done them in a while, you're probably not going to be that strong, and you probably may not be able to do that many, all depending on your just natural strength and a couple other possibilities, or not that's not the word, but a couple other uh, hmm, I can't think of the word, but I think you guys know what I mean. But just hanging, in the beginning, just hanging, it's good for your back. It's good to stretch. I so I've been doing a lot of pull-ups. And my Mary Fitness tip is, one is they're free. You can go to the park, you can do them anywhere. They as long as it's strong enough. And I really just recommend also doing different variations from pull-ups to chin-ups. So a chin-up, a pull-up, with your hands, your palms facing outwards or inwards is the difference. But also from going inwards and outwards, and just trying to hang with one arm to trying to hang with another. And this is as your strength progresses from you doing it after time and time. Then you'll be able to start doing more things that are beneficial basically for your overall fitness. I mean, pull-ups, they make you strong overall. Mentally, they're helpful. Uh, so many benefits, as I mentioned. If you don't have a gym membership, you can just go to a park, and you're like, well, my park doesn't have a pull-up bar. It doesn't have to be a pull-up bar necessarily. It could be one of those children climber things. That's what I've been using. The park nearest my house uh, doesn't have a pull-up bar. There's one like uh, 2 miles away or less. But if I don't go to that one, then I just go to the regular park and I use that. And that's great because, if it's like the monkey bars, I think that's what they're called. If it's that, then you can even train in different variations, which will definitely be helpful. And you can get a different type of strength. Then, if you need assistance, you can also use the bands. They're right in front of me, but if I reach out and grab the bands, then that's going to be bad because I can't take my mic with me. So bands are very helpful if you've never used them, to help with the pull-ups, especially if you're getting started. And that's pretty much as what I got for you as my Merry Fitness tip. I've already given you the Christmas puns. I've given you the history of how Christmas in July started. Thank you for joining, Frankie. Honestly, this is something that I've never celebrated before. People looked at me, as I mentioned, a little weird at the store. But during Christmas time, I have an outfit for all 31 days, from workout to suits. I have a bunch of different suits. I I do 31 shows in the month of December, so a show a day. And what I'm going to do this year is, people always like the shirts that I wear, from t-shirts to the Christmas. Uh, so I'm going to work on having my own Christmas shirts, try and release them before Christmas. And they're all going to be fitness related, because I really do love Christmas. I even went and I stopped, and Mexican American. So I stopped at the store and I got tamales, because that's what you do on Christmas. I'm trying to get into the really spirit. I listen to Christmas music in the morning. It wasn't easy. It was hot. I'm in California, but I believe in South Carolina or North Carolina, when they started, they do it in the blistering summer. That's the origins of it. And to this day, they still celebrate it. And they go completely decked out from Christmas Eve to Christmas Day. I hope it does catch on here more. just so that people will be in a better mood, not necessarily for the marketing so that companies can sell you, but it seems that more people seem to be more kind or trying to spread that joy. And we shouldn't just have it in the month of December. We should be kind to everybody, especially now we're going through stressful situations. And that's why I recommend working out so much. It's helped me deal with my stress. When I'd always work out on and off in my 20s, partying probably more than working out, but still working out. And it wasn't through till I went through a divorce when I was really depressed and I lost my mojo and I couldn't find anything. And I didn't, I mean, I lost jobs because of it. And so I didn't have anything, didn't even have money, but running was free and working out, doing push-ups and little by little that actually just kept me going until I got a break, got another job and you build your way back up. But working out since then became more of a lifestyle and I've been doing it since then more dedicated. I've worked at plenty of gyms and people will be like, there's just so many people out there, how could I say, just faking it. They don't really care. They're not really passionate about it. But man, I love fitness so much. I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. I will keep tying it in to Christmas, to any sort of holiday, anything to hopefully inspire and motivate people. And I know I have because every once in a while I get those messages, either DMs or a comment. And, you know, I for a while I was getting a lot of trolls, but now I'm actually getting people like with real questions, and of course I try and answer all of them as much. There's one on YouTube regarding the jujitsu about the goggles for the eye injury. I'll be getting to you soon. Twitch, you know, I opened it and I see you followers there. I'm gonna start having the stream open, so if I see you comment, which I think I missed a couple from what I've seen, so we could interact more on Twitch. So thank you for the Twitch followers. If you're listening to this for the first time, I do this show live from Fireside. And Fireside is a new interactive platform that is taking podcasting to another level. Podcasting, I believe, was started in the early 2002. From there, no one has really done anything innovative or anything really to make it easier, one for the creator, and two just to distribute your content, to stream it on multiple platforms like this is now on YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, and then be able to distribute it as a podcast with a touch of a button. So if you like the show, please be sure to follow on. I'm pretty much available everywhere. Like, share, subscribe. It really helps me, helps algorithm, help other people find me if you like this type of content. And it really helps me out and it's free. So that's how you can show support. If you notice, I try not to show any sort of commercials. I on because basically, unless I really, really believe in it, then I'm not trying to pitch it to you or until a company that I really vibe with, we and them make a deal. But for now, everything, uh, the only thing that I promote is if you need some assistance. I come from a financial background, worked in the bank for 10 years, sat in the cubicle life. And before that, I was in a call center as well. So cubicle life is nothing new to me. Uh, that whole time, ran 57 marathons from then till now, and going on and on. And I earned my blue belt in jujitsu and playing basketball tournaments. So I'm if you need some help, if you're that type of corporate person who is just really doesn't know where to get started. And I know this because I worked at a corporation, a bank, and a lot of people, everybody's always bringing like cupcakes and donuts, and it's a birthday celebration every month, and there's cake, and I'd be the guy. Hey, how about some healthy food, or how about some alternatives, and this and that. So I'm that little, you could either call me little friendly reminder, or you could be like, oh, that guy's annoying. He's always telling us to eat better or work out. Like, but if you want to be on Santa's good list, you got to make sure that you work out. All right. So thank you everybody for joining me on this very special 4th of July, 4th of July, on this. That's going to be edited out. Thank you for joining me on this very special Merry Fitness Christmas in July edition of Athletic Definition. This is episode 131. And be sure to do something for yourself. You know, don't be all snobby like those Christmas trees who only live in the past because they feel the present is beneath them. And with that, I'll check you out this week. This week, I'm should have a guest. I haven't got full confirmation from them, so I will be sure to follow me on Fireside and you'll be updated. For sure, I will be having Ricky Rack. That is for my show. If you speak Spanish, check out El Mundo de Fitness. It is here live on Fireside. That is all in Spanish. Ricky Rack is an instructor from Honduras. So be sure to join us for a fascinating and interesting conversation. Thank you. Until this Friday, I'm out.